Spain has ratified the UNCRPD, pursuing a social model of disability in which people with disabilities are fully integrated into society. Since we've studied the UNCRPD in depth, we will not cover all of its relevant articles. We will highlight Article 27, which focuses on employment and other domestic laws critical to Spain's disability policy. In 1982, Spain passed the Social Integration for Disabled People Act, or LISME. This was the first law of its kind in Spain, and further policy decisions have been made surrounding it. LISME imposes a 2% quota on employers with over 50 employees for hiring people with disabilities. Failure to comply results in fines ranging from €301 to €1 million. Spain's definition of disability is similar to the UNCRPD definition. That is, a person with a disability possibilities of education, work, or social integration is diminished as a result of the disability that is foreseeably permanent, of congenital nature, or otherwise in their physical, mental, or sensorial capacity. Royal Decree 2273, 1985 established and governed sheltered workshops in which people with disabilities have the opportunity to work. In 2006, they amended this decree in order to honor the UNCRPD efforts to include people with disabilities in the workforce. This amendment lets businesses subcontract workers from a sheltered workshop, transitioning them into the labor market. Spain has a social security system outlined in a royal decree of 1971 and 1999, in which it classifies disabilities into 4 different categories to determine the type of aid that individuals receive. The categories, based on severity of impairment, are partial, total, absolute, and grant.
Partial disability occurs when work capacity is reduced by 33% or more. Total is permanent incapacity for work. Absolute is the total capacity for any kind of work, and grand is the total incapacity for work and inability to partake in activities of daily life. Spain recognizes and protects the right of persons with disabilities to work in inclusive and accommodating environments, prohibits discrimination in recruitment, hiring, and career advancement. Yet, only 30% of disabled people are currently employed. According to the Zero Project, it is attitudinal barriers that have the most detrimental effect on persons with disabilities getting a job. While the 2007 Supported Employment Program was highlighted as a good practice by the European Commission, persons with disabilities aren't signing up because the system was new and is really complex. Furthermore, the Public Employment Service and Institute of Social Security have little support and marketing for people interested in signing up. It's great that Spain has a social security system that financially aids those who are unable to work and provides people with disabilities a safety net from absolute poverty. However, the social security system's reliance on proving and rating disability emphasizes the medical model's persistence in Spain despite move towards a social one. The classifications of disability may discourage some people from working, since if they can prove a higher disability status, they will get substantially more government support than the wages they could earn unsupported. This could also be contributing to our statistic that 30% of the disabled workforce is unemployed.
Although Spain should be recognized for attempting to promote equality of results with its quota system, more enforcement mechanisms would help the quota be effective. With the current system, some companies are willing to accept fines for failing to hire people with disabilities. Unfortunately, sheltered workshops still exist in Spain. However, it is positive that they are regulated to ensure the rights of workers as detailed in the UNCRPD. Additionally, a subcontract clause mandates that people with disabilities are exposed to the competitive labor market. In alignment with Article 3 of the UNCRPD, Spain has promoted full and effective participation and inclusion in society and accessibility in its tourism industry. Bilbao and Pamplona are 2 cities that are committed to becoming fully accessible. They have even won awards for their accessibility. Most of our research supports that people with disabilities are not being consulted in the accessible tourism industry. Also, the majority of tourism companies employ less than 50 people and are exempt from the employment quota. This is problematic because it could lead to misrepresentation. The Spanish government subsidizes taxes for workers with disabilities. Providing them with grants to open accessible tourism agencies would further assist in cultural accessibility and disability employment. These businesses could become members of Red Estable, an organization that promotes accessible tourism in Spain.
Additionally, a government campaign to educate its citizens about the benefits of supported employment program would help get the word out. Currently, it is not well funded as a result of its new emergence and low participation rates. More funding would allow more people to participate and improve awareness. Loosening up the disability definitions and classifications for social benefits may improve service to people with disabilities living in Spain by removing pressures to prove disability and ineligibility to work. In this system, qualifying members may receive benefits and work to their fullest ability without fear of losing benefits. Furthermore, LISME's definition seems to refer to permanent disability, but probably should be amended to include temporary disability as well. Another LISME suggestion is to establish a governing agency dedicated to enforcing the quotas, resulting in stringent adherence to the policy and unemployment relief. Fines for failing to meet employment quotas should be more harmful, particularly with large corporations who are avoiding real punishment as they can easily afford the fines. With the proposed agency for enforcing quotas, these fines will be a real threat and large organizations can become leaders in disability employment. Spain's policy is clearly attempting to make a transition to the social model. However, the country is bogged down by some medical model attitudes and social security definitions of disability. With the proposed policy changes, Spain could hopefully better fulfill their promise under the UNCRPD.